Hey guys, I'm Justin.
I'm Lee. I'm Eric.
I'm Carl.
Eventually we'll get a new intro, but this week we continue on our way to Halloween. Just got done with Scarefest, and boy oh boy, what a weekend it was. But we are back here to do this episode and go over today is ghost stories and some ghost movies that maybe you guys haven't heard of to add to your collection or your watch list as we get ready here for Halloween. So let's roll the intro and get right into this week's episode.
Welcome to Horrorland.
Alright, so ghost stories, ghost movies, apparitions, things of that nature. That is what we're here to talk about today. Again, as the series has gone thus far, we keep the same thing going today, and that is no mainstream stuff. So no Conjuring, that was the main one that we had to stay away from. Lee did cheat a little bit. Hers is kind of mainstream, but it's also one that doing conventions is not well liked for some reason. So
because they look down on comedy horror.
They do, yeah. So, but we'll get to hers when we get there. But yeah, she did kind of break a little bit, but it's not a huge break. But that was it's the most mainstream one I feel like we've done thus far. So, but yeah, no Conjuring. That was pretty much, you stay away from anything in the Conjuring universe because there's a lot of those. So
a lot of those are demons too. So you kind of it's very easy to mess up and do a demon thing instead of a ghost thing.
And the sad thing about it is when it comes to ghost, it's either exceptional or suck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's not a
ghost is something very hard to pull off because
it really is.
You either have to show the ghost and make it believable, or you don't show the ghost and make it believable,
which is hard.
Yeah, or you do the opposite and it just comes off really, really bad.
So, speaking of The Conjuring, I really love that movie too, man. As far as the suspense goes, man,
I think both 1 and 2 are both good.
Yeah. I don't like possession movies. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big ghost guy, but I love The Conjuring series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, when we was going through this stuff, ghost movies, you would think they would be a little bit easier to find. Ghost movies, I think this is the hardest topic that we've done thus far,
no kidding.
But we thought that it led, when we picked the topic, we was like, hey, that's going to lead really good into next week's episode, which is our favorite Halloween movie that takes place on Halloween that's not Michael Myers and Halloween. But yeah, I'm like, damn, we might should have picked a different topic.
Yeah.
And Lee brought up witches, but that was almost just as hard too. So
I went on Tubi. That's how I've been doing these. If I want something I'm not well versed in, I'll go on the streaming services, put in a topic, and just browse through something till that's what I did with mine tonight. I just found a movie I'd never heard of, never seen, and it's there again. It's from 2007, so I try to use something more recent. And like I said, I'm not well versed in ghost movies because I'm not a big fan.
Yeah,
for the reasons you said, it's hard to pull off.
Yeah.
So, and when you get in there were a ton of movies to select from. You think. Mm-hmm. Until you start getting into it, and you realize most of that stuff is like Ghost Hunters. It's some paranormal thing. It has nothing to do with the ghost. It's not a movie. It's a series or whatever, podcast or something. It was hard to find something.
I started 3 different movies before I realized, oh wait a minute, these are not really ghost stories. They're haunted house movies. Mm-hmm. And there's a huge difference. People don't realize there is a very huge difference between a haunted house movie. Because I had it all set. I was going to do burnt offerings. I love burnt offerings. Mm-hmm. And then I watched about halfway through. I'm like, there's not a single ghost in this movie. It's about the house. The house is doing all this. And then I started going through other movies. I'm like, it's the house. It's not really, Poltergeist. Even if you really want to get technical, it's the house doing all the stuff. It's not really a ghost. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean.
That's kind of the same way mine ended up being. It is a ghost, but it's also something else. So
yeah,
we'll get there when we get there, though. So who wants to go?
Why don't you go first? You never go first.
That's a good idea.
Okay. I'll go first. So we'll start it out here. My pick was 2000.
She was ready to. She's like, won't you do it?
Mine was 2016's The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
This is not what I was expecting. Can I see one?
No.
What's that for?
Make sure he's dead.
fingerprints in the system. For now, she's a Jane Doe.
He needs my help right now. 11 o'clock, I'm all yours. Subject is in her mid to late 20s. Hair brown.
Flash flood warning now.
Eyes gray.
What happened to you?
First, they bound her. Then they ripped out her tongue, poisoned her, paralyzed her, forced her to swallow the cloth. What is that? Dad?
No one could see what we have seen.
Lee had never seen this one, so we watched it. It definitely suspenseful, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Basically, they find this girl in this house, and they have no clue who she is. And so they take her to the morgue, and basically the sheriff of the town tells the two morticians, who happens to be a father and a son, he's like, look, I need to know her cause of death tonight, because they are going to want to know in the morning. The town is expecting a press release. I have to know. And so they work basically all throughout the night trying to figure out, and basically it is her spirit. You find out later on through the movie that she was a witch, but so it kind of teeters that line of, is it a ghost or is she just a witch? But at the end of the day, she does stay dead. It's not like she comes back to life. But basically her body, she is basically giving all of these clues as to what happened to her. When they cut her open, the inside of her skin has drawings on it, satanic kind of ritualistic drawings on it. She's
been burned.
She's been burned. Her lungs are burned, but it's all inside. The outside of her body
Looks immaculate. Like she's never been touched.
Real pale, real pristine.
Yeah.
No bruising.
And they think she's just been killed, and then they're like, but her eyes are gray, which suggests she's been dead for
72 hours,
a pretty good while. So, and again, just all throughout the movie, she's giving these different clues and everything as to what happened, and you basically find out that it's throughout her life these different things have happened, and she's showing each individual one. So, it's definitely suspenseful. Definitely has a couple good jump scares.
Jump scares, yeah, definitely.
I've always liked this movie. Scream Factory put it out on Blu-ray, so you might. It's not a real expensive movie, so I have it on Blu-ray. Tubi may have it, but if you haven't checked it out, I would definitely suggest it. I think it's pretty good. Definitely one if you watch in a dark room on a dark, stormy, scary night. It's going to get you. It's very, very jump scarish.
Because didn't they have the part where stomach contents had found her teeth and all that?
Yeah, they found a tooth wrapped in the cloth, and the cloth has the same drawing and everything on it that is on the inside of her skin.
Yeah, that's what kept her from...
They found that. They found a flower in her, in her throat, or was it her? I think it was actually her intestines or her stomach, one of the two. But they find a flower, and basically it is a paralyzing agent. Yeah. So they were like, well, the paralyzing agent, that proves that she was from up north, because that doesn't grow here. So again, the father-son team are trying to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out so that they can get back with the sheriff on what actually happened to Jane Doe.
And you notice that, I've noticed this a lot whenever I was going through stuff, is that a lot of these ghost movies and stuff like that, it turns out it's a witch that's died. I don't know what it is, but evidently witches are more dangerous when they're dead than when they're alive.
Yeah.
Because lot of movies.
Well, they really are, because in real life, I'm saying this like I have a lot of experiences in real life, but in real life they're kind of benign. They just don't want them to stand out and be recognized.
Yeah,
they want to go about.
Yeah.
And most of the people that genuinely practice witchcraft are more into Wiccan stuff. They communal with nature kind of thing. But it was, if you were a witch, you knew it was punishable by death forever. So you didn't want to be noted or recognized. You know, and all the things that they found with her were either things that were the burning, because that's what they did to witches back in the in the day. They burned them. You know, at the same time, the tooth wrapped in the cloth is a way to protect her. It's a binding spell, and different things. So.
Yeah, it's always more dangerous dead than alive, and always a curse.
Yeah.
When it comes to witches, like y'all killed me. You're about to pay.
I'm going to haunt you forever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to burn you slowly for about 10 years, stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. Y'all go ahead.
So that's all I had to say about it. I mean, I like it. I enjoy it. It's got Brian Cox in it, who Born Identity, Braveheart. So he was kind of the first real horror thing I think I personally had seen him in, and I thought he did a good job as the head, autopsy person.
He's an excellent actor.
Brian Cox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I had. So whoever wants to go next,
go ahead, Lee.
I'm going. Okay.
Right down the line.
So I did the Frighteners.
There has been a destructive force unleashed on this town such as I have never seen.
Oh my God, I don't believe this is not happening!
We have got a poltergeist!
Okay, well, folks, I can do a clearance, but it's not going to be cheap. Although I do offer a 6-month guarantee.
That fellow takes us totally for granted.
Hey, Stuart, in or out, huh?
Frank Bannister had a remarkable ability.
Psychic investigator?
To communicate with the dead.
You can see spirits?
Emanations are normally confined to the cemetery.
You cannot push spirits around!
Although they do escape.
And an uncanny knack.
We're gonna scare the living daylights out of your parents.
For making a profit off the living.
We're supposed to be his business partners.
Everyone says that you're a fraud, but I've seen what you can do.
Give it up, Frank. Death ain't no way to make a living.
But now, some things put the fear of death in the living.
What is happening to me?
And sent the dead running for their lives.
I've seen a figure in a cape.
That was the soul collector. When your number's up, that's it.
Frank, we got problems. All these murders that have been going on in Fairwater, they're gonna pin them on you.
From Universal Pictures and Robert Zemeckis.
You're next, pal.
And acclaimed director Peter Jackson.
We don't stop till the screaming starts, you dig?
The Frighteners.
It was 1996.
Love that movie.
Yep, Eric has a hat on.
That's right. I wore it just for you.
Thanks. So it had Dee Wallace in it, and Michael J. Fox, and John, is it Aston? Is that his name?
Don't forget Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs.
Busey,
awesome.
Jake Busey.
Jake Busey.
Yeah.
Yeah, had several.
I don't know who are you. I don't know who you're.
The judge. The ghost judge. That was shooting everybody.
Ernie, the general dude, or not general dude, but the sergeant, the one that we just watched on
John
he's in it too.
Ernie.
No, that was
Ernie,
that's the ghost.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about the ghost that's in the cemetery, the drill sergeant.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He is pretty funny.
Which is Ari.
Get back in this grave.
Yeah.
That's who was playing the sheriff in the
Yeah. Yeah. So several big time actors and actresses in that one. But it is more of a horror comedy. There's a lot of humor in it. But it does have serious parts.
Yes.
So I don't know. I had honestly, if I had seen it, it had been so long I had forgotten most of it. And so it was just kind of neat how, Michael J. Fox, can see and interact with all the spirits, and he can hear them, he can talk to them, he can feel them, he can, anything. So it's very interesting. He is a con man.
His two best friends are ghosts.
Yeah, his two best friends are ghosts, and they go and they haunt houses, and then he gets a phone call because he's a paranormal, I guess, investigator or whatever, and so they call him, and he basically cons people out of money for his best friends to go and haunt their homes. So, but it turns into a more serious matter. So he has to actually solve a mystery and figure out, why some of these people are dying, and
involves
so,
his wife too, doesn't it?
Yes, his wife. It doesn't even really show it in the very beginning of the movie, but she did pass away early on from a car wreck, and so it turns out that the one of the, I guess, bad ghosts, demons, whatever you want to call them, has marked people and he numbers them, and he's the only one that can see the numbers
before it happens.
So it's a very, very interesting movie. It's about 2 hours, so it's pretty lengthy, but there is enough humor in there that it kind of breaks it up where it's not so monotonous. So it's a good watch if you haven't seen it.
I did have a question. Do you know all the cast by any chance that were in it?
I've got it up
because
I couldn't remember that guy's name.
Well, I was trying to, the two humorous ghosts that were with Michael J. Fox, the two best friends that were with him, one of them looks just like Ted Raimi, and I didn't know if it was Ted Raimi. The nerdy ghost, the skinny ghost. I didn't know if it was him or somebody else.
I might have passed it. Go back up.
Let's see, Ted Raimi.
I can't believe. I was like, man, that's a main role. If it's Ted Raimi, he doesn't normally get main roles like that.
Chai McBride would be Cyrus,
yes,
so that would be. I don't know who the other one would be, honestly.
Was it not? No.
He looks like Ted Raimi. I don't know who he is, but he's the one that's like a little bit more logical than the other. But
yeah, there you go,
Jim Fife.
Oh, okay. I don't know him.
He played Stewart. That was the other ghost.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. He just looked like him.
I think you don't know people yet.
Yeah, but it had a lot of good actors in it.
Had a lot of actors in it. For me, the highlight was Jeffrey Combs. He plays psychotic better than anybody else.
He's a very good actor.
And all those the runes and shit he had carved.
His little speech where he rips off his shirt and goes, my body is a tribute to pain.
Yeah. I wish they had explained his portion of the story a little better, because they just kind of throw him there, and it all kind of becomes clear. You can piece it together at the end, but at the same time, it's like I feel like they could have dove into that with Jeffrey Combs being the actor that he is.
Yeah.
That's really my only gripe with that film, is it's like you have Jeffrey Combs, look at his body of work that he did prior to this.
And you should have been able to pull more out of that character.
Yeah. The character was great, his acting was great, but I would have liked to have seen, like, why was he trying to basically prevent Jake Busey's character from getting to the other side and clearing everything up. Yeah. Like he was like, no, we're not doing that. And it's like, okay, well, what has happened that makes you kind of... That's really my only gripe with it.
Really, I mean, if you look at it, if you watch, structurally, Jeffrey Combs was just there to be a human antagonist to Michael J. Fox, because for half the movie, he's not dealing with the undead. So you got to have somebody to be an antagonist for that half of the movie, or else you're not interested. And Jeffrey Combs filled that out very well. But anyway.
All right, so moving right along, who wants to go next?
I guess that would be me.
Get him, brother.
My movie is Session 9.
And I gotta get construction crews in here by Columbus Day, so you got a guesstimate how long?
I've got 4 really good guys. 1 week, we're gone.
That's fast.
I need the job.
So the loonies are outside in the real world, and here we are with the keys to the loony bin, boys.
You might actually want to be grateful, and you're about to make some decent money.
What's the catch?
Patricia Willard scandal, 1984.
I want you to try to remember what happened 24 years ago.
Use your imagination.
The shrinks figured that with these new techniques they designed, they could release hidden memories.
You can hear me.
You okay?
I want to go home.
I wouldn't tell anybody about this. If they find out about Hank, they're gonna find out about the others.
What of the others?
I want to come home. I am so sorry.
I don't know if everybody's seen that or not.
I have.
It's a very disturbing movie, and it really, if memory serves, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Before this movie, most of your haunted house tours and stuff like it was actual haunted houses. But after this movie, they started visiting a lot more asylums, mental health institutions, and stuff like that. The interest really peaked with this movie. People wanting to go see mental health institutions that were abandoned and stuff like that. It's an excellent movie, very atmospheric. It really starts out unassuming, so you don't really know what you're getting into. You just, it starts out with some guys that are removing asbestos from a mental health institute. And, you just think, oh, well, these guys are going to get picked off by something, And it's really much more involved in that. I'm not going to tell the plot a whole lot because there are certain movies that, because we're trying to do this to give y'all recommendations on what to watch. If I tell y'all the twist and what happens, it ruins the entire movie. And you're not going to want to see it because the twists are what makes this movie fun. And so I don't want to give away very much about it. I will say, and this may be giving away too much, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's a funny anecdote, is this is the first ghost I ever seen with multiple personality disorder. And I think it's the only one in recorded history in TV or movie. It's a ghost with multiple personality disorder. That's for real, people.
You can take that to the bank.
That's right. But anyway, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on in it. If you do not pay attention to this movie, you will not get it and it'll be stupid to you. This is not a movie that you watch while you're vacuuming your floor.
No, you have to pay attention.
You have to pay attention to the entire thing because there's clues given throughout the movie. There's tapes played throughout the movie. You have to listen to every word said and what every character says because they're all giving away hints as to what's going on.
Yeah. Very high dialogue movie.
Yes. It's not big on blood. Matter of fact, I don't think there's
any.
Not really.
There's some gory scenes, but it's after the fact stuff. You don't see any violence take place on screen. It's all after the fact.
And it scored, it's like a 68 on Rotten Tomatoes.
And it was a flop when it released. That's what kills me about it. It cost like 1.5 to make, and it made 1.3. And but since then it's become a horror classic. I dare say.
Did this even get a theatrical release?
Very limited. It was actually more of an independent film than anything else.
And it really doesn't have any names. It's got I don't know the guys. Horatio. Yeah, who played Horatio in NCIS.
The two biggest. The two biggest people in it were David Caruso and Josh Lucas, who went on to do Martians Attack or whatever it is. He was the kid.
Oh, Mars Attacks.
Yeah, Mars Attacks. That's it. Mars Attacks. And he did a few things like that, but nothing major. But David Caruso was the big draw, And even he, at the time, I don't think he was all that big. He had just started. I think his big claim to fame was Jade, I think was what it was.
Probably.
Yeah. And that was
Which was a flop in and of itself, and we actually just watched that. And
Did you?
I super enjoyed that movie.
It's an interesting movie. It really is.
It really is. It's got a lot of good twists.
Yeah. And I've noticed that
one of the best car chase scenes through Little Chinatown I think I've ever seen.
You could tell that David Caruso likes smart movies.
Yes.
Everything I've seen him in, you may not be able to make sense of it, but it's smart dialogue. It's written sharply. He doesn't like stupid stuff. You just don't see him in things.
Very curt to the point.
Yes. He was in a lot of stuff I've watched that's older that I'm like, hey, that's, but I can't think of any of it off the top of my head. But he was in a lot of horror films back in the day. It's just not really someone that you look at and think, oh, that's
a horror guy.
Yeah.
Well, with his bright red hair and all that.
It's so tough to see us on my end.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, getting back to the movie itself, it's very atmospheric. The director really knew what he was doing. If you watch that movie, the light coming in through the windows, because with most mental institutions they have a lot of windows and that light shines in. Yeah. But anyway, I highly recommend it. Carl, you're next.
Okay, mine is not a modern masterpiece. I don't know what's wrong with me lately, but I've been watching newer movies. I've been watching a lot of made-for-TV stuff from all the way back in the 70s with Gargoyles to Kingdom of the Spiders in the 80s, up through all this. I love sci-fi movies, the Sci-Fi Channel movies. all the corny shark movies. I love that stuff. So I took a flyer.
Today, you know what I'll do is I'll watch a cheap.
Like I said, I picked a rando, and it's called Headless Horseman.
This is deliverance country.
They deliver pizza here?
You're just in time for the Headless Horseman celebration.
Washington Irving story?
His dark soul rises up from the depths to get the heads of the young.
Ew.
Don't lose your heads.
Where's Lizzie? How about a little head? I'd love to come next year. I'm having so much fun.
And I thought, well, that's cool because I love Sleepy Hollow. You know, that'll be fun. And it starts out, it's a take on the Headless Horseman. It starts back in the Civil War. There's a battle, you know, all that ensues, and then a soldier dies and he becomes the horseman for a minute. And then the city, the town this happened in, Wormwood, holds on to the body and all this garbage. So here we are, all these 100 years later, whatever, and these 7 kids are going to seek out the mystery of the Headless Horseman. And after you get into the movie, every 7 years, at the point where the Hydra constellation forms, because the Hydra has 7 heads, 7 years, 7 heads for the Horseman, and it's the cheesiest, corniest, worst acting. The best thing about it is Richard Mall, and he was not stunning in this either. I'll be honest with you. That's the end of a career, need a couple of bucks to fix the house thing. And acting was terrible. Everything was CGI, it wasn't great. But the storyline was really cool. Because, I mean, you know, it makes sense that every 7 years, you know, he comes back like Jeepers Creepers, you know. Mm-hmm. He comes back every 7 years. He's got to have 7 heads or he takes over the town. So you think, oh, busy town. No, the most people ever in the town at any one time that I counted was like 15. So you want to pick a town with 15 people and tell them every 7 years, 7 heads. I'm like, shit, you're running out of town quick.
It just cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. So what it was tourists looking for the Headless Horseman. You know, and you go through all the geeky things where they take the heads down he takes them, drops them in this pit with all this boiling oil looking stuff, and these snake things take them down, and every time he collects a head, a little more of his head grows back. And if you could see the high quality special effects for the head, as you can see,
oh, it's beautiful.
They spared no money.
Looks like Darkman.
Yeah.
It does look a little
at best. And that's as good as it ever got. But at the end of the movie, the cool thing was they kill him, his head falls across. He can't cross running water. Head falls down, burns up, melts. They win. 2 of 7 survived. Yay, team. Richard Mall does not. Sorry, bro.
Oh, man, I like Richard Mall.
He was a dick in this movie.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's fine then, okay.
Yeah, sounds like he asked to die. But there's nobody in the cast that I recognize whatsoever.
A lot of those sci-fi movies were that way.
Yeah.
And I think every episode we have mentioned sci-fi, which, again, to reiterate, sci-fi used to be the absolute greatest thing in the history of horror. Like, as far as just super cheesy, stupid, low-budget stuff, and then they always had the greatest Halloween marathon. Always.
Always,
I mean, you would flip through those channels, and like on Halloween they'd play Castle Freak and Leprechaun and Halloween, and I mean they did absolute greatest.
They did all the stuff that AMC would not do.
Yeah,
because AMC sticks to that formula. They're going top 25 movies, and they did their top 25 favorite movies, not necessarily the most popular. They did the ones that to them made more sense, and I've always appreciated it for what it is. And honestly, the story in the movie's really good. But when you got a bunch of kids like we do, we have a bunch of people who are inexperienced, and you put them out in front of a camera and hope for the best. And for what it is, I mean, it was made for nothing. It was fun. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not going to watch it every month, but I would watch it again.
I tell you who has taken over Sci-Fi's mantle though, as far as producing and putting out movies and stuff like
Shudder.
that. And it's Shudder.
Shudder.
And they, don't get me wrong. Whenever I say they've taken over the Sci-Fi stick, they're doing it better than Sci-Fi did it. They're putting out stuff that's higher quality, better made in every way, getting good directors.
But their streaming service is the bad thing about them because now,
which will cost you money in order to do it. To watch.
Which most people I think would rather pay $4 and have a channel that they're going to watch than pay $60 for cable or more nowadays.
But you know what? This is what got me. This pissed me off. I've had Shudder ever since it came out, and Screenbox ever since they came out, and it was part of my Amazon Prime subscription. I get in there on accident because I was scrolling too fast and opened it up to my subscriptions. Amazon Prime's like $15. They were charging me damn near $15 for Shudder and like $9 for Screenbox. Neither one of those are worth that kind of money. That's a $5 channel, period. Most of what Shudder has is older stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and I end up getting rid of all of it. I'm like, hell, I own all the movies anyway, so what do I care?
With Shudder, if you do a year subscription, you can get it for under 60 months a year, which is the best way to go. If you pay monthly, you're going to pay more. I've had it for
since
4 or 5 years. Yes, I've had it several years now, and that's how me and my wife do it. We pay yearly for that. I did do Screenbox for a half a minute because they had a lot of documentaries. They have a lot of very interesting documentaries about horror movies on Screenbox. And I actually did the 7-day free trial for that because I just wanted to watch the documentaries and I let it go. But Shudder is, for me, you have to be a real fan in order for that to be a viable option.
But it's fun because there's a lot of good. It's like
a lot of good stuff.
Justin brought it up the other night. Chiller.
Yeah, Chiller, the Canadian.
Yeah, how much fun that
Canadian
was.
Sci-Fi.
That was a lot of fun.
Well, I originally watched In Search of Darkness on Shudder. That's how I even found out about it. I didn't know what even In Search of Darkness was.
Shudder's cool for some obscure stuff, but like you just said, like you have to be a fan, and like especially for most of the stuff we're talking about, and just your casual horror fan, you've got Tubi for free.
Yeah, it's
like Tubi is an endless rabbit hole of just gold. Honestly,
Tubi is absolutely fantastic. We talked about this on our last podcast, how great Tubi has taken over as probably the greatest streaming service out there, and its popularity has skyrocketed.
Yeah, it has.
So the commercials.
Yeah, the commercials.
Well, I mean, Tubi's still
for
they play
free.
like one or
You're
two.
talking about a free service,
and they don't play but like one or two throughout the movie, so it's really not that bad. All right. Well, that is going to be 4 films. I don't think we had any honorable mentions that I can think of. I guess we could throw out
hard of a subject.
We could throw out The Conjuring as an honorable mention, just because there are a lot of people who like us. They're like, we didn't watch it because it was mainstream and we figured it would suck. I still get a lot of people that have never seen that.
Oh wow!
That come to the booth, and like it actually is a good ghost story. It's a good. I mean, it's got one of the scariest movies at that time. You know, you had your Paranormal Activities, but those movies were...
Yeah, and you had
they were not real great.
And all that.
And, Sinister, I did love that, but I don't know if that was really a ghost, because McCool was more
for
like
me,
a
Insidious is my gold standard. I compare everything to Insidious.
Insidious is
it scared the dog poo out of me. When that demon popped up behind that dude's head, I thought I was going to
I'll tell you what, though, when you're talking about that, the thing that made me even look at Headless Horseman was... I love Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, that's excellent.
With Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci.
That's actually a great
ghost
movie.
Story.
Yeah, that's an actual, and Johnny Depp at his best.
Fantastic.
Too. Yeah.
And so that's why I gave that a run. And it, like I said, it's not horrible. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, and before Jenna Ortega was a thing, is Christina Ricci, and she was awesome in that movie as well.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's 4 more films to add to your list. We are counting down the days. We are about, exactly a week and a day at this exact moment in time from Halloween. So get those watches in, and we will be back with you next Thursday as we go over our favorite movies that take place on Halloween that are not Halloween. And the date of that is actually October the 30th. So you're going to get 4 new films. I'm sure we'll have some honorable mentions for that, because there's a lot of great obscure movies. I feel like everyone's just like, oh, let's watch Halloween, and I get it. A lot of people, that's it takes place on Halloween cinema. There's so many other.
What are you gonna do with the other 12 hours of your day, though? You know what I mean? Halloween lasts you about an hour and a half.
There's so much other great stuff to watch. So we're going to be back with more films on that next week. But like we said, I hope that you guys have got you a notebook, a piece of notebook paper out. I hope that you guys have written these down, and I hope that you're watching some of these, because I feel like we've really gone over some good obscure stuff and maybe some stuff that people are not the most fond of. But again, we will be back next week with more titles to finish out this Halloween series. We hope that you all will stay tuned and join us then, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.